do me. You're the one that blew his load.
Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know. How about something new, different, and exciting?
Something never been seen on this stage before.
That's a good idea.
How about comedy?
Good idea.
Live in the MCG studios, located in the undershaft of Florida, but popular in Ghana. Welcome to the Potluck Podcast. So come join us and have some fun.
Well, hello, and welcome to the show. You are on the Potluck Podcast, right here and right now on everyone's favorite podcast platform, Podbean. Yes, I bet you can't say that 10 times real fast. Anyway, I'm Grabo, and welcome to the show. It is Wednesday, July 13th, which happens to be the 194th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. And on this day in history, Captain James Cook began his second voyage aboard the Resolution to the South Seas to search for Terra Australis, later to become Australia, of course. And of course, this day in history, Live Aid concerts were being held at both Wembley Stadium in London as well as the JFK Stadium in Philadelphia, which no longer exists. And that's all done for African famine relief. And we see that it had actually, did it work? We don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Bob can tell us. Anyway, famous birthdays include Julius Caesar, Harrison Ford, Patrick Stewart, and Nathan Bedford Forrest. And in case you didn't already know, today is National French Fry Day. So whether they're crinkle-cut English style or McDonald's famous fries, today you can take the opportunity to sample some golden brown potato slices and enjoy and celebrate National French Fry Day. Also today is Beef Tallow Day, if you didn't already know. Beef tallow is used in candles and soaps. Its healthiest use, however, is in cooking. Believe it or not, beef tallow is rendered form of beef. Most of the time, it's cooked down and from any cut of cow meat. Other times, it's fat skimmed from the meat and melted down. Tallow remains soft and palatable at room temperature and can be used instead of butter or oil. And it even has a high smoke point, making it a great option for deep frying and cooking that requires hot heat. Tallow is used to make candles, soaps, and it's safest used as cooking fat. Also today, in case you didn't already know, because we're on the potluck and we talk about food once in a while, it's Beans and Weenies Day. Yes, it's Bean and Weenies Day. No, not the popular podcast that can be found here on Podbean, but it's the actual dish. Frank and Beans, this purposeful and most particular meal is to celebrate a uniqueness of one of America's first invented comfort foods. And it's a basic dish identical to pork and beans, except the frankfurters are used instead of pork. And it is used to be a comfort food for years and years and years, and it is normally served in a casual atmosphere. So celebrate Beans and Weenies right here and right now. And of course, all you nerds out there. Yes. Yeah, embrace your geekness today. From Dungeons and Dragons to Aquaman, or even creating or listening to podcasts just like this one, today is Embrace Your Geekness Day. So embrace your geekness. Yes, I said that. Embrace your geekness. Nerds. Yes, and if you're a disgruntled employee, today is not your day, because today is for gruntled workers. Right, today is Gruntled Workers Day. Look at that glass half full and spread some positivity around your workplace and celebrate this day as Gruntled Workers Day is happening right now. See, by celebrating National Gruntled Workers Day, not only can you see our work in a more positive light, but we can also spread the positivity by appreciating the work or services of any other worker or service provider. It's just a simple thank you. Yes, it's a simple thank you for something specific, and have a nice day. Just things like that can go a long way in making someone's day better on National Gruntled Workers Day. Also today, in case you didn't already know, Tony B might be interested in this. It is National Delaware Day. Yes, The holiday aims to commemorate the state of Delaware and how it was the first American state to officially declare independence from the British. The land of Delaware used to be part of the states of New York and later Pennsylvania, but now it stands proudly on its own, a National Delaware Day. And it's, in case you didn't already know, the state is named after the Delaware River and Bay, which in turn was named after Thomas West, the third Baron de la Warre. It gained official statehood in 1776 when the 13 colonies declared independence from the British. And there you have it on National Delaware Day. And last but not least, for what we're going to appreciate on this podcast, it is National Barbershop Music Appreciation Day. Yes, a yearly event to celebrate barbershop music is happening right here and right now today. A stylish of voice-only a cappella style music. This day is not to be confused with another barbershop-themed event, National Barbershop Quartet Day. People of all ages, genders, and nationalities come together to perform various or public or private events, singing melodies across different genres. And in pulp culture, this day is a little slice of nostalgia, beauty, and authenticity combined. So blow your pitch pipes and start singing with your 3 other closest friends on National Barbershop Music Appreciation Day right here on the Potluck. And we got special things happening later on, too. So before that happens, let's see who's with us. It looks like George is with us. Thank you, George, for hanging out with us. Bob Dammit just entered the live studio. Welcome, Bob. We're waiting for Tony and see what happens there. But
hello.
Are you there, Bob?
Yes. I'm sorry I'm late. I missed the whole opening. Can you go through that again?
Sure. Hold on a second. We got.
I'm kidding.
Well, you could always follow the timeline because I put it right on the timeline as well.
I see. I heard it. Barbershop Music Appreciation Day because
it's National French
never
Friday.
Get tired of that. French Friday.
It's National French Friday. It's Beef Tallow Day. It's Frank and Beans Day or Beans and Weenies Day, whatever you prefer.
Those are
it's
good
not
guys.
The podcast. They're not. It's not the podcast. It's just the actual food.
Well, they should have a day. Why not?
Well, I guess why not? Why not? You know.
I mean,
it's
if
also
it were National Potluck Day, we'd be celebrating, wouldn't we? So,
possibly yes.
So,
It's also Embrace Your Geekness Day. It's Embrace Your Geekness Day.
Well,
Get those nerds!
And so it's also National Gruntled Workers Day. That doesn't go with us because we're usually disgruntled, but it's Gruntled Workers Day.
What
and
does
it's
that mean?
National. It means you're happy.
How are you
where
doing
we
today?
were.
I'm gruntled. How's it going?
That
Well,
sounds
I'm rather
like you're angry.
I'm rather gruntled today. Thanks for
Yeah,
asking.
I know it does sound like you're angry, but it's also National Delaware Day.
Of course.
Yes,
There you
named
go,
after
Tony.
Thomas West III, Baron de la Warre, and of course National Barbershop Music Appreciation Day. There you go. I went through the whole thing for you.
Okay, thank you
Bob,
for the
because you
recap.
missed
I
it.
appreciate it.
And there you go. And just to give you the recap of everything that's happened. So, how was everybody's week?
Excellent.
I don't want to say.
We're in the midst of a full moon right now.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
I thought it was just the CERN plant doing shit again.
You know, shit's been weird since that started.
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, but I've noticed things have been really weird.
Things are really funky.
Right.
All the
How
computers,
so?
all the computers everywhere. Computers
Oh, yeah.
everywhere have been going berserk.
Well,
Ours
maybe
out
not
here,
yours,
too.
but-
No, I mean, you go into. I was returning some stuff to Home Depot, and their entire franchise computer systems were wonky.
Whoopsie
They would
doodles.
ring in. Well, they would. Their scanners
was it-
wouldn't even.
Yeah. Was it
I
two for
had
$5, but it rang up as $2.50 each?
No.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
It was.
That sucks.
I got sheets of corrugated metal, and I had like 6 sheets. He charged me for 2. So I was like,
Oh, wow.
That's good. Just,
That's
go
a good
ahead.
deal.
So I got,
Good deal.
Yeah, I got all these sheets for free. I was like, thanks, bro. He did look like a crackhead in his defense.
But I had actual receipts with a barcode on it, and they would scan it. They would scan it, and it wouldn't register as anything
So
in their
they
system.
scanned it again, and again, and again. It's like, just type
they had
it
to
in.
type in the numbers.
Oh,
they
no.
type in the numbers, and it didn't work. It's like somebody erased all of the memory.
It's like,
But
well,
it's
you used this.
but it's a receipt that they printed, their computers printed
What were you returning?
for me. I was returning fencing material. I still had stuff fencing. We put up a
Maybe
fence
Maybe
Fencing
they
around
don't
my
sell
house.
it anymore.
Shit you don't need,
No.
right?
They can't take back something they don't sell no more.
Oh,
Why
is
would
that
you
right?
say that? It was an
Because-
actual receipt that they.
Because I don't know. I'm just trying to.
Yeah,
It was
items
an actual
discontinued, sir. We're not giving it back.
We're not.
Return.
We don't
Refund
sell
for
that anymore. And I can
Yeah,
just
right.
imagine the look on your face if that would happen. What?
You have no
That-
idea.
That doesn't make sense. What the hell?
You're
Are you all
screwed.
crazy? Are you all
You're
taking
screwed.
stupid pills?
I'm
What the hell
I'm
is going
telling
on
you,
already?
it was.
So computers are all messed up, right?
Oh, everywhere.
Oh.
At work, they're just completely.
Yeah,
Crazy.
in the 80s, my mom and dad were at the grocery store with my grandmother, and the power went out, and
Oh shit!
yeah, and all the cash registers and scanners were down, so they went around handing everybody markers to write the price on the items.
Oh my god!
My dad was like, I just wrote down whatever I felt like.
You wanted to hang him.
That's how they had to pay for everything.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Who am I? The dingbat.
When I was in college, one of my classmates, he said he would take a Sharpie into Walmart and put an extra line on the barcodes.
Wow. Yeah. Did it work? No.
No.
It would just. It would
No,
never
he
work
would
that
he
way.
would put it back on the shelf. He would draw an extra line and put it back on the shelf.
Oh my god!
Oh.
What a dick! That's a
Price
dick
check
move.
in aisle
I
7.
know, it's great.
That
I
is
love
a
it.
dick
I love it.
move. That's a dick move.
Mhm.
That
Bob
is
has
such a-
attacked.
Oh my. That's a
love it.
dick
Someone.
move. Oh my
Speaking of all
gosh.
of that, I'm getting a committee get together for the betterment of lattes at Wawa, because I think they're false advertising. I went in there for any kind of latte, and all
At
the
Wawa.
fucking
Holy crap.
tight, and all the tight bubbles are not tight.
They're
You're-
not.
you're-
That's.
You're expecting
Shut that dog up.
You're
Oh,
expecting
wait a
high
second.
quality lattes at the Wawa.
We have a
Yeah.
special guest, I believe. I believe that is the sound of Jeff Prekop. Jeff Prekop.
You're alive. You made
Hello,
it.
He's
Jeff.
alive.
You're alive.
I am alive.
Hello.
So happy
And in
for
one
you.
piece.
Oh,
You did say you had special intro music, so that's pretty awesome.
Yes, this is your this is your intro music.
I like
It's very regal.
Jeff,
It is
because
very
of
No, that's
because of your heroism and your
Oh, this
just
hail to the
because-
chief.
Unity.
yes, we are going to nominate you for president of the United States
Hey, you know
because
what? I'd probably be
because of
pretty
your
good.
humanitarian efforts in the Ukraine. You, sir, should be nominated as president.
I think at this point, just about damn near anybody could do it. You know?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if you put a group full of monkeys together, I think they could do this.
Yeah.
I think that's what we got in Congress right
It's
now.
like you just
Yeah. it is
elect
a group
a
full of
high
monkeys.
school
know it.
principal. He'll do, you know.
To the office.
Yeah.
Gotta go to the office. Oh shit!
Oh shit.
What did I do?
I hated the office.
What did I do? I'm gonna go to the office.
Yeah, they
Oh,
went there.
man.
Yeah, go to the office, Steve. Oh, they're gonna give me another ribbon. Another
Now, is Jeff
Right.
Is Jeff in the Ukraine, as they say?
Not anymore.
No, he made it back.
Oh no.
You made it.
No,
You made it home,
I'm
Jeff.
officially out. I actually got out. I was back in the States on July 3rd, right before 4th of July. So,
No,
awesome.
That was well planned.
yes.
Yeah.
Good
Came back
time.
to find out everything's fucked up here too.
Right.
Right.
It was fucked up before I left, and it was fucked up when I came back. It was fucked up trying to get
Oh,
over
my
there, quite
God.
honestly.
How did
Well-
you get over there? You can't just like go to Travelocity and book a flight for, Ukraine.
But for those who are listening, Jeff was on a humanitarian effort saving animals in the Ukraine during the war. Twice. Holy
in
shit.
the Ukraine war.
Yeah. I was actually over
Yes.
there at the end of March for a little over 2 weeks. Got out middle April, and then just went back June 16th. I think I left, and then got back July 3rd. So yeah, two separate trips, two very different trips.
Wow. That's amazing. That's
Both
amazing.
times
That's
with no injuries. Well, I did slice my finger open, but that had nothing to do with being shot or anything like that. So yeah, that was cool.
well, you sent me a video. You sent me a video, and this is how I
when
found
we were
out
outside,
about it.
yes, outside of Kyiv.
You sent
Was
me a
that the
video.
one
You were
outside
gonna
of Kyiv?
you were gonna go infiltrate a zoo.
Yes.
The guy was saying.
Well, no,
And-
we were dropping supplies off at the zoo. We already had a team that was in there.
Okay.
But we showed up to drop some supplies off. We were a little bit early because we couldn't actually go into the zoo. They wanted to come out and meet us. So we were hanging out outside this little Ukrainian store. We had a little Ukrainian cheese. We got some bread. They got some salami or something like that. So we were just kind of having a little picnic while we were waiting to go in. And all of a sudden we hear this pop, pop,
Yeah,
pop.
lots of pops.
Lots of
Pop,
pops.
pop,
And
pop,
It's like,
I was like, holy
what was
shit.
that? It's like, oh shit, that's actual gunfire right over there. So this guy
Yeah.
Steve, who was the head of the operations, he was like doing this video that he was doing his own video and he's narrating it, and then I pulled out my phone and I started videotaping as well. And yeah, it was a couple blocks over. There's a little gunfire going on there. So yeah, that was interesting, eye opening. So.
Scary.
Now, Bob, we all have questions for you. We all have questions for you. So, Bob, you go first, man.
My question is how did you get there? How did you even get involved? Like,
It's how did I get there?
you go as like a group, like a church group goes to
No. So how it all started was just me. I'm a huge animal rights person, animal rescue. I've given money to various international organizations for years and years. And just as the whole start of the war started going on, I started getting all these messages, hey, this shelter has been, abandoned, or it's surrounded by Russians. They can't get food in. This is happening. I'm like, oh shit, man, that's awful. And so they're like, hey, we need money for ambulances and try to get in there. So I started donating money, and then I'm like, I can't give more money. I mean, I can give more money, but I don't want to give more money. I literally want to go help. This is something that I can do. I'm just not, oh my gosh, I want to go rescue doggies and kitties. I actually have a skill set. I've helped do animal rescue over here, obviously not in a war zone, but, we're doing rescues here around the island, trap, neuter, release, kind of things like that. I'm pet first aid and emergency first aid and CPR certified. I've actually been doing a program with the ASPCA for disaster response. So, I actually had taken a bunch of classes kind of moving towards that goal anyway. And then I just, again, was just watching and like, I have to do something. And I worked out on a Sunday. I came back over here to our shop, and I'm just kind of like going through some stuff. And all of a sudden I was like, I'm going to go to Ukraine. And it just literally, this knowing came over me. And it was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And so I went home, and my wife was like, oh, how was your workout? And I was like, oh, it was great. And she goes, oh, I know how we're going to help over in Ukraine. And I went, yeah, I'm going to go over there. And she went, oh, okay. And so,
Okay, good.
that's
Just
literally
sign this
exactly-
insurance form first.
No shit, right?
Well, we did do a little research before I left to find out that yes, if something happened, the insurance would be paid. Which is right, which is strange. You never know. You never know. So that was kind of funny. And then it just, I was reaching out to different groups that I knew were over there, and then ended up getting involved with this other group that was sending a bunch of supplies from UK that was going to meet another group at the border of Romania and Ukraine, and they were going to take it in from there. And so I started messaging them, and I messaged them on I don't know, whatever day it was. And then they came back and like, hey, can you drive a 5.5 ton vehicle? And I'm like, I have no idea how big that is. Is that like a semi? I mean, what freaking size is that? And so I was talking with a couple of truck drivers, and I'm like, no, that's just like a military vehicle. Yeah, you could drive. Your Hummer is like 3 tons. Yeah, you'll be fine. I'm like, okay. So they're like, just tell them you could do it and you can fake it. And I'm like, okay. So I messaged them back and I said, yeah, I don't need a special license or anything. And they're like, okay, great. Can you be in Frankfurt, Germany in like 36 hours? And I was like, no, I cannot be in Frankfurt, Germany in 36 hours. That's a little fast. It was like, I have a business that's here. I kind of have to tie some things up, not to mention, the rest of my life needs to be tied up a little bit. So I was like, that's not going to work. And they're like, okay, well, we found another driver on you. That's fine. I said, but please keep me on the list. If anything, happens, you got more drivers you need over there, please just a little more notice. I'll kind of tie things up a little bit. So this way I'll tie everything in a nice bow, and then boom, I'll be ready to go whenever you need me. And then, that's I started messaging back and forth a little bit because I hadn't heard from them for a couple of weeks. And they were talking about building a shelter in Romania. And somehow my email got kind of caught up with that. And they're like, oh, we need construction workers. We need this. We need this. We need this. Thank you so much for replying. And I was like, yeah, that's not really my skill set. I'm a not so handy man as opposed to a handyman. So that's not going to go very well. But I mean, if that's what life is leading me to do, then I mean, I'll go and I'll do whatever I have to do as long as I can just go help. That's all I want to do. And so I messaged him back and kind of said that out. And I said, listen, this is 2 very different areas. This is not my skill set, but I will go and do whatever you guys need me to do. But, I just need to know because I want to book my flight, and it's either I fly to this part of Romania or fly another part of Romania. And so they came back and said, listen, no, we'd love to have you. If you can fly to this part, and if you want to actually be in Ukraine, we will definitely love to have you in here, and you can do this, this, and this. And I said, great, that's what I want. And so, I got a flight from Hilton Head to Newark to, where did I go from Newark? Newark to Barcelona, Spain, then to Vienna, Austria, then to Romania. And then I had to catch a cab from Romania to Iași, Romania to Suceava, which was a little closer to the border. And then they met me there, and then we caravanned on in. Yeah. So.
Wow, that's amazing stuff, man.
Yeah.
So.
And then the opposite. How did you catch your flight out? It's like I have to make it to the airport on time.
Just reverse that.
Reverse that. Hang out in Romania for a while.
There were so many runs back to the border because we had so many people bring supplies to the border, and people coming in that we'd drive to the border and pick up some stuff and then go back to the camp we were in, and then just go back and forth. So when my time was coming up, I'm like, okay, here's when I have to get back out. And so it was like, okay, great. Well, here's what we're going to do. And so we took us down there the day before my flight. And of course, the COVID's going on during this time. So, the flight's over. I had to wear a mask for however long I was in the air for felt like 36 hours, but I was a little over a day. Then once I got to Romania, I see nobody wearing masks. I'm like, okay, can I take this thing off? And yeah, we don't have a mask. I'm like, God, thank God I can breathe again. So, so I took that off, and then I had a funny story with the Romanian security guards. So I get my stuff out of the thing, and and I'm walking through customs, or I've already gone through customs. I'm just kind of walking past up towards the front of the airport, and there's this big hulking Romanian guy in his uniform, and he's talking to this other guy, and it seemed like they're having a nice friendly banter, and people are just streaming past this guy, no problem, no problem. And I come rolling on through, and the guy's like, "Excuse me, one moment, please." I'm like, "You talking to me?" He's like, "Yes, you. Hold on a minute." I'm like, "Okay." And so I'm standing
That's a good
there,
accent.
thank you. I've tried to perfect it as much as I can. So he's standing there. He just, bullshitting with this guy. They're talking back in Romanian, laughing. I'm like, okay, this is a little weird, but okay. So I finally finishes up, and
He's probably like, I'm going to fuck with this American.
Yeah, that's exactly probably what he was saying. Exactly.
Let's fuck with this American.
It's exactly what he did from that point on. He just walks up and he just stands there, and he's staring at me.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, so I'm staring back at him, and I'm like, there's no words between us for about 30 seconds, and I'm like, "How you doing today?" And he's like, pretty good. Yes. How are you today?" I was like, "I'm doing pretty good, I think. I mean, it was a long flight, and I'm a little tired, but other than that, no, that's pretty good. He's like, "Oh, that's good. And he's just like eyeing me up and down, hoping I could break a sweat or something like that. So I'm like, I got nothing, so I'm not worried about it. And he's like, "So, do you have anything to declare?" And of course, the smart-ass part of me is like, yes, I would like to declare the undying love I have for my wife while I'm over here. But the smart part of me was like, no, I'm going to say, well, I mean, I've got a couple cartons of cigarettes, but I mean, other than that, no, I really don't have anything. It's like, a couple of cartons of cigarettes, huh? Okay, you have a nice day. Like, okay,
that's it? He was just fucking with you.
It didn't come down to, do you want one?
Yeah, right?
It's like,
Just bribe him with a carton of smokes.
Right, but then I started worrying. I was like, shit, I've actually got like 4 in there, and I hope he doesn't ask me to open up, because I'm like, wait a minute, you've got more than 2 here. So it's like, open up the rest of your things, and let's do a cavity search of yourself. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So, but thankfully it didn't happen. So then I had to go find a taxi driver who would take me to Suceava, which was actually worked out pretty well. This one guy spoke a little bit of English, and he took me on my way for $100 for a 3.5-hour drive, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Not bad at all. Yeah.
Did you get a chance to meet Volodymyr Zelensky?
I did not. But I was hoping I would. But we've got a few things in common. Like I was telling Steve.
That's right.
Yeah,
He wears a T-shirt. He just walks right out in front of a green screen.
No, he started in comedy.
Yeah.
He started in comedy.
Yeah, started in comedy.
He's an act. He's an
He
act. That whole thing is a bit.
Sure.
Pretty.
Yeah, what a nice backdrop he got.
Right.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from there,
man.
then it was just, going inside, and, I get there, and we get into camp, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Of course, the first thing we have to do is clean out the van that was picking us up, and there's myself, the driver who was picking us up, and then there's this guy, Johnny, who just came over from UK, and Johnny was a nice chap, and but he didn't really have a lot of animal experience, which I thought was kind of funny. But then the first order of business was having to power wash the back of the Sprinter van. They had all sorts of kennels and stuff like that they had gone to an area day before where dogs literally just shit and pissed in every single one of these things. So it's just the entire place smelled just horrible. And of course, I have no problem with it because I have a grooming shop. So it's like, dog pee and poop, whatever. I'm used to this shit. And poor Johnny is like, oh, the fucking smell, mate. Oh my God. Oh. And then he's in there. We're power washing, shit and piss is flying all over us, and he's like jumping out of the car. He's got dry heat, and I'm like, la 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 la, na 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 na. It's the shit's everywhere. So that was that's first 3 hours of being on the ground there, just about, and then into Ukraine and met everybody, and we're standing there talking. And about 3 minutes into it, all of a sudden you hear all these air sirens go off, and I'm like, are those air raid sirens I hear? And I'm kind of like gauging the room. Nobody has any reaction to it whatsoever. They're all just laughing and talking and doing this and this. And I didn't have a worried look on my face, but I was just kind of looking around a little bit. And then somebody's like, "Oh yeah, mate, these sirens go off all the time. You'll understand, it changes pitches and then you'll know that it's not so good. So you're fine for right now." And I'm like, okay, good to know. And then from that point on, air raid sirens didn't bother me whatsoever.
Wow.
Nice.
So like, what? I mean, were you going into zoos to get the animals? Like, what kind of animals did you rescue? I mean, were you like,
were you relocating them?
Right. So the first trip,
leave the tigers, grab the geese.
Yeah.
So, well, there are stories later, but I didn't actually get to go to the zoo. I just delivered supplies.
Okay.
They were going to drop me off in the zoo, which they had literally 300 animals and only 6 zookeepers. And then we took like 3 people from our group and dropped them in.
Oh,
so we had 9 people for like 300 animals, including lions and all sorts of, rhinoceroses and giraffes. And I mean, it's a full zoo. So, I did not take part of that because I was going to be flying back. So the plan was, we talked about me going in there for a couple of days, but then it was like, oh, mate, I don't know if I can get a crew back in there to get, they're starting to hit Kyiv again, so I might not be able to get you out in time. So how about you just stay here? We'll keep you running around doing supply runs here. And then they brought somebody on. I was like, all right, that's fine. But then we did go up there for the dropping off the supplies, which was cool. So that's where the gun battle happened. And then you see, mines by the side of the road. They were mining and everything like that, which was, interesting.
Holy shit. Wow.
So, so then from there, it was just, we were literally going to like shelters that had needed supplies, didn't have any food. The one shelter we went to a couple days before I left they had like 450 dogs and cats there that they were just taking in. I mean, people were just dropping off, they were leaving, and they're just like, here, take care of our animals. And these people were, I mean, God bless them, they were just doing, their best with them. I mean, they had no food, so they're literally just making like chicken soup kind of stuff to give to these animals. And then, of course, they wonder why the animals are like having diarrhea everywhere. And it's like, because you're not giving them really good food, but you don't have any food to give them. So it's kind of hard to be mad at you.
Wow.
So we end up getting, I think that trip, and that was funny too. We're actually on the ground. We're getting ready to leave. On the way there, the clutch went on one of our vehicles. So we're like 4.5 hours away from our camp. So we just kind of had to like roll that off to we were luckily going through a little village. So we rolled that in a little mini market. And then we had another vehicle with us with a vet trailer on it. So I was like, okay, grab all the stuff and everybody jump in this vehicle. And so we hauled off with the vet trailer. So we could have gotten out about 20 to 30 animals with that van if we'd have had it. But unfortunately, because it went down, we only took out like the 13 worst. So we had a couple animals that had some pretty major lacerations and wounds all over the place. So we ended up having to take those back to camp with us. So we're all loaded up. And again, the people are just super nice. I mean, you feel bad because, again, they're not saying no to anybody, and they're taking dogs off the streets, and they found cats on the streets that, were in need, and they were just like taking them in because they're good-hearted people. So as we're sitting there getting ready to leave, all of a sudden we hear this jet goes flying over top of us, and we're kind of like, these are not friendly skies around here. That's not Delta United. Probably want to go ahead and get out of here because that's a recon mission for somebody. So we jumped in the vehicles shortly thereafter and left. Never did see it, but chances were it was more than likely Russian because Ukrainians didn't have a lot in the air at that point. So loaded up and took our asses back to camp and unloaded our animals there. And then I hung out for a couple days and then headed back to the States.
That's amazing. What an adventure.
Did you have any interaction with any of the locals?
Tons of interaction. So
now I was telling you, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And the second trip, I definitely had more interactions with the first trip. So the camp that we had, like, literally was just kind of a bare bones warehouse, and we just had all the food in there. We had cots. There was no heat, no running water, no showers. We had a camping toilet with a little pop-up tent that we would go to the bathroom in.
Okay.
However, there was a gas station that was a short walk away from it. So after a couple days of not wanting to use the camping toilet, I'm like, I think I need to go to the gas stations. Anybody need anything? I'm just going to go run there and grab some potato chips if I can get those in there. And so that was my big pooping adventure. So I got to go do that.
Wow.
So, you interact with some people there. And then as we're driving around dropping off supplies, we dropped off some supplies to a woman who was giving them to a children's shelter, a children's hospital. And we get the people are just amazing. I mean, they're so thankful that you're dropping stuff off. Even the ones, so it's a story I like to tell. So it's a very interesting dichotomy versus America, what happened here. So every time we were driving around, sometimes we were driving, 14-hour days. So it was like you get up early, you haul ass down the road. We'd have 2 people in a vehicle. And, after a couple hours, you'd switch people out so you don't get overtired. So we'd stop. Sometimes we have to put gas in the vehicles, just kind of stretch our legs, stuff like that. So every single time we did that, we were by the side of the road. Someone either going on the opposite side or behind us would stop and make sure we were okay. They would ask for they'd be like, it's like, okay. Cause we have, the White Cross and stuff on our vehicles. And it was like, no, we're okay. Do you guys need anything? I mean, cause you've got all your stuff in your car and you're checking on us. We feel like you should probably be the one we should be giving things to. But I mean, that's just right. I just started doing a mental inventory the first couple of times I saw it. And I'm like, let me just keep track of this. And every single time somebody would stop and check. I mean, you get that. Wow. You don't get that in America. You get people, you get a flat tire by the side of the road. People are flipping you off.
They give you the finger. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Then they're not going to check and see how you're doing. But Ukrainians, they would do that. So
I think once upon a time we used to have that, but not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, not since like the 70s.
Technically
probably.
It's a war zone, right? So why don't they provide porta potties for those guys?
I was telling Jeff that I keep getting these emails from these saying Ukrainian women need new homes in America and are willing to service American men, and then they have a picture of this girl in a bikini. And I said, "Did you meet any of those girls?" Is that just spam?
Definitely spam.
Definitely spam. I was going to click on it, but I didn't do it.
It's a Russian virus. Yeah. You'd have gotten the Russian virus from there, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Make sure you give them your address.
I have to tell you, Jeff, I'm so glad you're back safe, and because of your humanitarian effort, we are definitely going to nominate you for president because that's just amazing.
And that was just trip 1. We haven't even told you about trip 2 yet.
Oh,
that was literally
wow.
the first part. Yeah, that was just trip 1.
I want to welcome Alec Kareem and Amity and Erick here. FYI is on with us, as well as George and Jesus Yalala. And
Jesus is on the phone.
Yeah, I know. He's with us. He's hanging out with us. You see, your humanitarian effort has presented Jesus to our airwaves. Plus, I want to congratulate everybody here on the show, because last week's show gave us 2,000 plus live listeners on our show. So we need to congratulate everybody on that.
Nice. Well done.
Thank you for hanging out with us, folks. We appreciate you guys, because you're making our numbers go through the roof, and it's amazing stuff. And we're just lucky to have Jeff with us tonight, telling us about his adventures. Now, Jeff's been on the show a couple times before, for those listening. he was one of the founding members of Misplaced Comedy, of course, and
Woo-hoo.
him and his wife Jan, yes, they operate a pet grooming shop located in South Carolina, and he just got back from a humanitarian effort with in the middle of the Ukraine. Hey, Mercy, Mercy has left, has just joined us under the Live Studio. And Jeff, tell us more about your this trip 2.
So trip two.
Everybody.
So trip 2 started off with a 4.5-hour delay out of Hilton Head Airport. So
Did you fly Allegiant?
that was it was something United. It was one of the United flights, whatever their underlings of it. Which was crazy because, like, any trip I've ever had, I've never had a delay, I've never had an issue. But this, man, right off the bat, 4.5 hours, and sucked. And then so we finally get up in the air, and the captain's like, okay, just to let everybody know, I apologize for the delay. We had to switch flights up in Newark, but it's caused some issues, but we're on our way. And unfortunately, we have to swing out towards Tennessee and then come up through Cleveland, and then we'll get to Newark. And it's going to add about another hour-ish to our flight plan. And, of course, everybody's like, and he's like, I know, we feel the same way. So we're cruising along, managed to get a little bit of nap in, and we're hanging out. I did have a friend go with me this time, a former Marine, which is always good to have a Marine in your back. That's always good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So we get up, and they're like, okay, we're approaching Newark, so as soon as we get approval to land, we'll be on the ground. I'm like, okay, cool, finally. So I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, our flight is our connecting flight, which I had about a 4-hour delay in between. We're getting tight now, but it's like, okay, well, that flight's delayed a bit, so okay, cool, well, we should be good. So after a few minutes, the captain comes back and is like, okay, well, we still haven't been approved for landing, and we're about to run out of fuel, so we're going to have to shoot over to Pennsylvania. That is never words you want to hear when you are on a plane.
Right?
We're about to run out of fuel.
We're about to run out of fuel while we're waiting to land.
Yes.
Wow.
So we're not going to be able to stay in this holding pattern. We're going to have to go to somewhere in Pennsylvania. And it's like, holy shit, did he just say what I thought he said? Yes, he did. So we shoot over to Pennsylvania, land on the ground, touchdown. They fill up some, I don't know, I guess, and put half a tank in maybe or something like that. I guess with prices of fuel, can't fill up all the way anymore. So we get back up in the air, get back to Newark. We land. As we get down, we go run into our gate, and that plane is taxiing down the runway. So we've missed our connecting flight that would have taken us to Amsterdam.
No.
Yes. So we're like, son of a bitch. So then we have to scramble around trying to find a flight. I'm messaging, they got a little, you don't get to talk to customer service anymore. You have to actually go scan a QR code, and then you get to video chat with someone who's actually in the airport. It's not like they're calling, you're terming into India or anything. No, they're actually physically in the airport somewhere. So I get this guy on the phone. We start talking. I'm explaining what's going on. He's like, okay, let me see if I can find you a flight. So he's messing around. He's like, let me see if I can get you to London. So I'm like, okay, cool. If he's going to get us to London, let me go see where it's at. Okay, the next flight's to London's going out in about 30 minutes. So let's haul over. We go running over to this gate. We're waiting around. So then the people are like, listen, the London flight is full. So I'm talking to this guy. I'm like, hey, man, the London flight, they're saying let me is full. So what do you want me to do now? And he's like, hang on. I will be with you in a moment. So he's like, okay, yes, that's not going to work. Let me find you another flight. Okay, great. So we're kind of hanging out a little bit. About 10 more minutes passes. And all of a sudden, my phone just that screen just goes blank. It's just like he hung up on me. I'm like, son of a bitch. All this time I'm waiting. I'm like, God damn it. So I go back. I re-term into a thing. Get a completely different guy on the phone. He starts going through the rigmarole. And he's like, okay, well, I can get you to Austria tonight. There's a flight leaving, and then you'll be on your way, such and such. The only problem is you'd have to spend the night in Vienna, and we can't offer you any vouchers, so you'd have to be on your own. I'm like, okay. And I start talking to my friend. I'm like, dude, okay, here's what they're saying. We can either stay in Newark tonight. They give us a voucher. They get some food vouchers, or we can go to Vienna. And he's like, well, we're kind of going back and forth. And I'm like, well, screw it, man. It's in Vienna. I don't care. Well, at least we're off American soil. We'll be in Vienna. We're almost there. He's like, yeah, it's a good idea. So we go back. All right, dude, let's do Vienna. And he's like, okay, hang on. Ah, shit. I'm sorry. That flight just sold out. God damn it. So now we're stuck in Newark for the night. So we end up having to spend the night in Newark. Get up the next morning, catch flight, get to Vienna. Then we get to the next one to Austria, to Romania. Drive over and meet our contact in Suceava. We have to take a cab to the border. We get to the border.
Did you see the same guy?
No,
Did you see the same guy in Romania?
I should have taken his number.
You were hoping.
Bogdan was his name. So Bogdan, if you're listening somehow, some way, thank you for that first trip. Send me your info and I'll use you again someday. So Bogdan was a very nice guy. He was a really, really nice guy. So no, didn't get to see him again. So we get a cab. We have a nice little dinner where we get to this really nice Romanian hotel where this other guy who's given us keys to the vehicle, it's on the other side of the border. We're having a little dinner and there's a little bar there, and they must have having some Romanian dance fest or something like that. And I'll send you a video later. So, but it's all the same dance. It's a different music, but it's all the same dance. It's like it's all in a circle, and you go 3 steps right, and you do this little twist, and then 3 steps to the left, and then twist, and then back to the left. So, but it's literally the same exact dance. The whole night, it was the same exact dance.
I know the dance. I do know the dance.
You know the dance, yes.
I do know the dance.
The chicken dance would have been nice. Something different, for God's sakes.
But they would have done the same dance if you had the chicken dance.
I know. Yes, they would. Somehow they would turn the chicken dance into the 1, 2, 3 twist, 1, 2, 3 twist. So I'll send you the video of that later, Steve. It is pretty funny. So we get to the Romanian border. We get through the Romanian border. We had to walk. We get through the Ukrainian border. We're walking. And all of a sudden, my friend Derek's like, shit, where's my phone? And what did you just say?
No.
He's like, fuck, where's my phone? I'm like, I don't know. I don't have it. It's not your phone. I don't know what. And he's like, oh, man, dude, I fell asleep and I think I left it in the fucking cab. I'm like, you got to be shitting me.
Oh, no.
So thankfully, when we were at the hotel, we had the front desk call a cab for us. So I call my friend back. I'm like, dude, go back to the front desk, find out what cab company was, and have them call that driver because our phone, one of the dude's phones is in there. He's like, all right, I'm on it. So Derek in the middle, he starts calling back. So he goes back through the Ukrainian, back to the Romanian border. So I'm like, dude, just go back to where the cab dropped us off, and I'll just make sure the cab meets you there. So he's like, okay, then cool. So he heads off. I'm standing there. So I've got to wait. It probably took about an hour for this whole thing to resolve. The driver finally got the message. Of course, I was calling Derek's phone. He finally answers. He's like, hello, I have your phone. I'm like, I know. Thank you for answering finally. So he's like, I will be back in about 35 minutes. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't care. Just please hurry back. My friend's waiting for you. Same exact spot. Okay, sounds good. So finally, my friend Derek, he gets his phone. He comes all the way back through. We jump in the car. We're on our way. So about that time, I've got about 7% left on my phone. Now, I don't have the complete I have the directions to get to where we need to be, but I could probably fake it most of the way because I've been down that road so many different times. But the final destination was like, I don't know exactly where this is. So I'm like, all right, well, we'll just try to go as far as we can. And there was no charger in the car. I was expecting there to be a charger in the car. Unfortunately, there was not. So I'm like, all right, let's just go as fast as we can, as far as we can. And it's like midnight at this juncture. It's about 11 o'clock at night. All the gas stations are closed everywhere. Not a single gas station is open. Nothing is open because, of course, the war. So everything is closed down early. So we're cruising on down the road. We're just moving. And then my phone died. I'm like, all right, man, let's just keep going as far as we can. And so I'm like getting along. I'm like, all right, yeah, I remember this turn. Okay, we have to go this way. So and it's about a fairly straight shot. We're going down different roads. I'm like, oh, yeah, I totally remember this really shitty road. Yep. Okay, we're cool. And then we get to this one thing. I'm like, all right, it's a circle. And I know it's either the first one or the second one. And I know last time I took the wrong one, and I don't remember which one it was. But we're going to go with the second one this time because I think that's what it is. So we go to the second one. We start driving. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, wait, yes. Okay, I totally remember. I'm like, okay, cool. So, and I know we've got this long stretch of drive at this point. So we just kind of zone out. We're cruising along. And all of a sudden, I'm like, man, I don't know. We've been on this road for a long time. I don't know if I remember it being quite this long. And the last thing I want to do is like show up in Kyiv or something like that outside the gates. And I'm like, oh shit, we are way out of the fucking way here. But I'm like, man, I don't know what to do. And he's like, well, let's just drive for like another 10 minutes and let's see what happens. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So we're cruising down the road and there's a gas station that's closed, but across the way, there's a bunch of trucks that are waiting for it to open so they can refill in the morning. And there's two guys who are actually out of their truck that are redoing a tire. And I'm like, score, let me stop. Let me ask them if they know where this place is and make sure that we're on the right track. And he's like, yeah, it's a good idea. So we spin around, go back, jump out of the car. In the limited Ukrainian I could do, I'm trying to talk to them. We finally got to understanding where I needed to go. And they're like, oh, yes. So they kind of do a little diagram on the ground, the old school, draw a little circle in the road and did, in the gravel and go from there. And then once they start talking, I'm like, okay, totally. I think I know exactly where we're going to be. Okay, cool. So we jump back in the car. We go hauling ass down the road, get to the first circle. Boom. I remember where it's from there. We get to the next one. Cool. Awesome. And then there's a gas station that, weirdly enough, at midnight is open. Or it's actually probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, holy shit, there's actually a gas station. Let's stop in there and see if they got a little car charger. Put it in there. We can charge up the phone, and that'll be good the rest of the way. So sure enough, they had a charger. Excellent. Bought it. Bought some food. We're good to go. I'm happy. Feeling good. Phone's charging. We're cruising on the road. We get to this one section where I was relaying a story about the last time we were there. There's actually this big checkpoint, and they actually made us turn around because the city had been being shelled while we were trying to go through it, so they made us turn around. And Derek's like, wow, that's really cool. So we're driving down the road, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, where the fuck's my passport? He's like, what?
Whoa.
Like, where's my fucking passport? He's like, well, didn't you put it up in the center console? I'm like, no, I stuck it between my legs in case we went to a fucking checkpoint. I could pull it out and hand it to him. And I went, son of a bitch. He's like, well, where do you think? I'm like, dude, I know exactly where it is. Where we stopped to jump out to talk to the guys with the tires and fucking jumped out. So I'm like, shit.
You
So
jumped out and it fell on the ground.
Yes. Yeah, I jumped out. Again, I did a little demonstration. I had this little piece of paper, piece of cardboard stuck between my legs. I jumped out and boom, exactly. It fell right on the ground. I'm like, God damn it. So we jump in the car, and we're semi-laughing at this point because it's like, this is the most comical fucking stupidity things you can have. Two fucking Americans in Ukraine losing their phones and passports. I mean, it doesn't get much fucking. You can't make this shit up. You really can't. So haul ass down there. I'm doing probably 200 miles an hour, which was great because, over there's nobody out on the road, so you can literally drive as fast as you want. It's fantastic. We're driving down. I'm like, well, maybe it was where I dropped out or I jumped out to get the car charge. I'm like, no, it's got to be at the first place. Well, let's go to the first place. So we're cruising down the road, going. I'm like, it's like, man, it's got to be coming up soon. And he's like, yeah, it should be right around. He's like, yeah, see, here's all the trucks. And I said, yeah. And there's my passport right in the fucking gravel. And I screech over
No
and
shit.
jump out. There it is, right in the side of the road. So
no shit.
I jumped out, grabbed it, had some looks like some road burn, probably before I drove over it, honestly. So jump back in the car, get all the way back on the road, and finally make it to our destination at like 4 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculous like that.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So yeah, that was how that whole day started. Our first 24 hours in Ukraine. That's how it started.
Oh my God!
Incredible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What did you bring with you? I mean, what kind of things did you bring with you? Like clothes, supplies.
Clothes. I actually brought a ballistic helmet this time. I did have some armor, an armor jacket. Flak jacket, or armor plating, whatever you want to call it. I did not bring that with me this time because I was like I had it in my bag, and I was like, Tom said we're really not going to be out and about in a lot of areas. He said, we're going to be building more of the shelter stuff, and so, I'm probably not going to be in harm's way. So now I'll just leave that. I'll leave that. Whatever, it's fine.
Did you bring back saltwater taffy?
I was looking for Stuckies. I could not find a damn Stuckies to save my life. I was pissed that Stuckies was not around. Yeah. So.
Or a walk.
So
my-
clothing, good gloves. I brought plenty of vitamin C and D3 and zinc and all sorts of things so I wouldn't get sick. Because that was the last time, it was in the winter time, and I was literally taking shit left and right to make sure I was like, I don't want to get COVID, I don't want to get a cold, I don't want to get anything. So, so I brought the same stuff with me there. Brought some money, converted some money into hryvnias, which is the Ukrainian money over there. I had some Romanian money as well in case I needed that for the cabs and stuff like that. It's a ballistic helmet. I brought a couple gas masks because, hey, you never know. Better to be prepared than not prepared. Boots and just normal just clothes, tactical kind of stuff, I guess, if you want to say it, military kind of stuff. So we get over there and we're working on shelters and helping build the shelters. I'm going out and I'm, with all the money we raised, what I'd said is like, listen, I'm going to help build shelters over there. So that's what we did. We were going out and buying wood for what we were building, veterinary care for the animals that were in need of it. When we were probably there about 3-4 days. And then I was talking to Tom, who was running the operations, and he wasn't there. He was actually in like Netherlands or something like that doing some stuff. And so he was talking to another guy via video chat, and then he's like, hey mate, how you doing? So we're talking, and he's like, so got something nice and tasty, I think, when I come back. And I'm like, okay. He's like, what's up? And he's like, I might have some lions we're gonna move. And I was like, cool, that'd be very cool. So he's like, yeah, just waiting for a couple confirmations and things, and we'll go ahead and do that. I'm like, all right, and he's like, you up for that? I'm like, hell yeah, I'd love to go get some lions. What the hell? What other opportunity am I gonna have to do this? So I didn't come here to build shelters and walk dogs. I came to do some fun stuff. So
That's right.
Unfortunately, that didn't pan out. The paperwork didn't make it in time. So yeah. So but what ended up happening is we did have another thing that was going to come up where they had some ostriches and an oryx that were loose. Well, ostriches were loose somewhere. Yeah, an oryx. Do you know what an oryx is?
Okay. Yeah.
They got these big giant fucking pointy horns, and they're really nasty, and they can run you through. So yeah, we were gonna go get one of those. It was apparently trapped in a fucking warehouse somewhere. So we had to go extricate them from that. So
wow.
Yeah, so we're like, okay. So we loaded up the vans with a bunch of stuff, and we've got like a horse trailer because they were like, all right, if we somehow corral this thing, and they had like a chemical gun so they could, shoot them with a dart so we can try to get them. But now the unfortunate part with an oryx is apparently there's no drugs that completely put it to sleep. So it just kind of like makes it a little drunk. So it's like, okay, we got to get a drunk oryx into the back of a horse trailer. Yeah, nothing will go wrong with that, I'm sure. Yeah, piece of cake. Yeah, no problem. After all the other shit, no, this is a piece of cake. So we ended up having to jaunt all over to the eastern-ish part of Ukraine, where the bad shit's happening. So we're like pretty much close to the front lines at this point. I'm not going to name cities we were at, but let's just say that there were cities that had been hit very hard or are currently getting hit very hard. So we were at a house. We stopped at this first house where this lady knew where the ostriches apparently were and the oryx supposedly were. So we stopped by there with all their supplies, and then two of the guys went with her to kind of go get a lay of the land and see, where these animals may potentially be, and kind of start doing a little planning and recon for it. So out her front driveway, basically, there was a little road that took us down to it, and right at the entrance of just past the entrance to one of her driveways was a military checkpoint that basically was like the last checkpoint you go through before you actually get to where fighting is actually happening. So, we're kind of hanging out, and it's completely surreal because her house is like this idyllic house. It's this beautiful brick paving everywhere. It's like a sanctuary for hawks. She's got this Zen garden in the back, and you're in the Zen garden and you hear boom, boom, boom in the background. And it's like, holy shit. I mean, that's pretty close. It's pretty close kind of around here. So it's kind of hard to be Zen when, you have, missiles, somewhere in the background of your mind. So So anyway, they come back.
Oh man, that's
from
crazy.
yeah. So they come back from where they're at, and they're like, well, the ostriches apparently are nowhere in the area now, and the Oryx has somehow managed to get its way out of the warehouse. So that blows that whole thing. So they're like, okay, so now it just turned into, we have all this food. We're just gonna be going and delivering it to some of these areas that are in desperate need of it. That they're basically on their own. I mean, the city we went to currently being hit pretty hard, from what I understand, and and again, this speaks to the most amazing aspect of these people. So we're in the city. It's pretty much desolate. I mean, everything's boarded up. You got people here and there because, of course, a lot of people aren't going to be going because they're like, well, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? And you have these literal 70, 80-year-old ladies that are there that are still feeding the animals, and they're not leaving. And they live, up on the 4th and 5th floor. They're chucking up and down the stairs, bringing the food up and down for these cats and dogs. And they're like, no, screw the Russians. Well, we're not going anywhere. And it's like, how fucking incredible is that? I mean, yeah. Like, I was in awe as we're going through, and of course they're in tears, so happy that we're actually dropping off real food, and they're like, "Oh, you're our hero, you're here." And I'm like, no, you guys are the heroes. I mean, let's be honest. You're sitting here, and again, we're sitting there talking to them, and they're just so nonplussed because you hear literal fucking bombs in the background, just boom, boom, and it's not like a huge loud boom. It's where it's super close, but it's close enough, shit's happening, and they're just completely unfazed by it, by it, and yeah, and it's just like I am in complete fucking awe of you people, Nana and Babushka or whatever your name is. You fucking rock. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Nana,
You fucking rock.
Babushka,
Nana, yes. The Babushka. Babushka Anna, yes. So,
wow.
So we spent time doing that. Then we spent the night actually in an apartment that we found that basically was probably an old lady who, with her cat, who left during the probably start of the war. They had potatoes growing in her fucking fridge that, man, I have never seen potatoes. Like, literally, they were about to fucking break out that fucking door of the refrigerator.
Really?
Oh my God. It
massive?
was crazy. Massive. I've never seen fucking potato fucking spuds grow like that. It's fucking incredible. She she had made a breakfast or something like that, and like the bowl was still in the sink and had water. And part of me wanted to like wash it for her, but I forgot to, so I didn't. And instead, I forgot to put her little dog. She had like a little dog pillow like on her sofa that I slept on, so it was really right in the sitting in the middle. But I moved it on the top of it, and so she's gonna come in and be like, "Why has my dog moved over here?" And somebody had wieners, and they put wieners they left their wieners in a jar on their sink over here. What is going on? Who the hell was in my house? I took a video of her little house. It was really cute. So we finished up there, headed down to the south part of Ukraine, one of the ports, and that again is getting fucking hammered all the time. And again, we just show up and we're delivering supplies. We met the world's strongest woman. Or at one point, she was the world's strongest woman. Her name was Anna.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yes.
That. What was her name? What's her name?
Anna something or another. And she still has like 15 world records. And she was a tiny little thing, but man, her shoulders were broad as shit. They were just fucking a monster. She was unbelievable. Like literally, she could probably just lift pallets of entire food by herself and just lift it off the fucking truck. Be like, here you go. So,
did she have a deep voice?
Actually, no, she was kind of effeminate. She looked mannish, but she was actually very effeminate the way, because we were trying to figure out, like, is that a woman? Is it a guy? I don't. And it wasn't until she actually brought her medals out, of which she had like a shit ton of medals, and just kind of drops it on the middle of the table for us, that we're like, oh, Anna, okay, I see, that's a woman. Okay, all right, there you go. So, And again, such an amazingly nice person. I mean, she had us at her house. We, just sleeping at her house. 2 people were downstairs. 2 of us were upstairs, and she's sleeping on the couch. And it's like, wait a minute, something is wrong with this. We should be the ones sleeping on the
Right.
couch, and you should not be. You should be sleeping in your own bed. But yeah, no, that's how she wanted it. Her neighbors across the way had us over for dinner a couple nights while we were delivering supplies. Just amazing people. Just giving everything they have to you. I mean, and the food's all the same. It was. What's that?
You actually stayed at the world's strongest woman's house?
Yes, I did.
Wow,
Wow.
that's
It was a beautiful,
powerful.
really nice house. Yeah, we were actually gonna we were gonna do a fitness workout challenge. This guy Tom, who was running the show, he was gonna have me and this other guy TJ do. He wanted this woman Anna to work us out so hard that one of us threw up, and that was who the winner was going to be, the person who didn't throw up. So he's just talking so much shit about it. But thankfully, Anna, we had breakfast, and she said, no, I can't have anybody work out after breakfast. That's not how I do things. That's not how I do things. So I was like, okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because I'd have been 3 squats into it. I'd be like, bleh, bleh. But thankfully it didn't happen. So, but that particular morning, so I wake up and I'm like, man, what is that noise in the background? Is that thunder? I'm like, nope. No, that's definitely not thunder. It's bright sunshiny out. No, the Russians are up early today. It's 5:30 in the morning because everything gets light at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I get up and I'm hearing boom, boom, and it's closer than what it was before. So I got, and the the house is shaking a little bit, and so I get up, I go downstairs. Yeah. So I got up and I'm sitting downstairs and I'm just kind of taking it all in and just listening to it, and hearing birds are still chirping and everything is going on. And then one hit, and I don't know how close it was, but and it probably was a couple miles, 3 miles, 4 miles down the road. I don't even know, but I could feel it in my body. Is how it was. Yeah, it wasn't like, and of course the house shook, but I didn't feel it like through the ground. It literally, like the wave just kind of went through my body. I'm like, oof, okay, that was kind of close. All right. So yeah, that makes this shit real. We are in a fucking war zone, that's for sure.
Wow.
So,
jeez.
Jeff, did you let the strongest woman in the world's house, did you ride her dog like a horse at any point?
She actually didn't have any dogs.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I take that back.
Wow.
She did have some rescue dogs that she was taking care of with puppies. She actually had mostly cats. She had all these little kittens running around. It was adorable. Like all these little teeny cats were just like running all over. Yeah, it's like if you picture one of those crazy videos where like a woman has like 20 little kittens running around. That's how it was. They just like they're literally scampering everywhere. It was fucking hysterical. Yeah, absolutely hysterical. So then we just kind of went around and delivered supplies to different shelters and took in, checked out animals, any ones that needed. We took some veterinary care where they had allegedly a cat had been slashed by its throat by somebody. So we went and got it from this one shelter, and then took it, and the vet, checked it out and ended up saying, no, it actually had an abscess that burst, and that's what happened. So I was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
little bit different than a slashing. So,
Yeah, right.
yeah, but the one place we were at, it was almost like they had 3 houses. So like the one house they had a bunch of dogs at, and they also had part of their cats were there, and they had them in a room that was in the very top of their house. And unfortunately, a missile hit their house and killed all the cats. So and they had actually, it's terrible, just terrible. And they had, they still had like pieces of the fucking missile sitting by the side of their house over there. I guess keeping it as a memento. I don't know, but just crazy. So, but again, they're just like, yeah, we got hit by a missile. God damn. I mean, just so nonchalant about it. Like, a missile hit us. Well, whatever. Yeah, all the cats died. Well, we got all these other animals we got to take care of. So, and that's so we went to different areas and checked out the rest of their animals. And we ended up getting rescued another hawk they had, a ferret, and what was the third thing we got? Shit, can't remember. Was it cat? Yeah, it was another cat. So we took those back with us, and then we did have a state-run shelter that we went and checked out, and one of the dogs that was there as we were going through found out he was actually a military dog, or had been with some soldiers at a checkpoint that got hit by a strike, and the soldiers had mostly been killed, I guess, but when they went to go check it out, they found his dog sitting, kind of hiding out, and had been, wounded pretty horrifically around its neck and everything like that. So as soon as this guy Tom heard that it was a military dog, he's like, all right, that one's coming with us. He's going to be ours now. We're adopting him. He's the ground team dog. So I was like, okay, cool. So recon is what we call
that's
him.
right.
So yeah, no soldier left behind, as they say.
Did he come back with you?
Oh yeah. Well, he didn't come back with me to the States. He's still in Ukraine. He's part of the ground team. So he's got a forever home there with the ground team, which is cool. So
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So was it hard to get that Oryx into the truck?
Well, we never got him. He managed to escape out of the warehouse where he was supposed to be, so we never found him.
Those things can be nasty, I heard.
Oh yeah, that's what they were saying. Tom was laughing. He's like, "Yeah, he's a real nasty fucker. They got these big things, and you can't really knock him out." I mean, he's all excited about it. He's like, "We got this ballistic shield. We have to go." And I'm like, "Okay, you're a little too into this, but all right, I'll figure that out. All right, yeah, it's better than lions. I mean,
yeah."
Well, yeah. So
but
that's amazing.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to a real international man of animal rescue.
That's why we have Rescue Paws International. Yes, Rescue Paws International.
Yes. You're like a.
Is that the company you went through?
No, that's actually the nonprofit that we started. When I came back the first trip, the first 24 hours I was back on the ground, I was like, okay, this is what I need to do, and I'm going to form a nonprofit with my wife, and we're going to come up with a name, and we're going to do it, and we're going to raise money, and this way we can fund operations over in Ukraine, and then if there's disasters that happen in America or anywhere else, we want to be able to go do stuff like that. So that's what we started. Yeah. So we've got our 501c.
How do they get a hold of you? Rescue Paws International or
RescuePawsInternational.com. So we've got our fundraising link on there. We've got stories, pictures of the first trip. I don't have the second trip pictures up yet, but some cool stuff up there. A couple TV interviews I did. Some fun stuff up. Hear even more crazy stories about things that I'm sure I'm forgetting at this juncture. So.
It sounds like a really exciting time you had there. I mean, not as exciting as not as exciting as our trip to LA, but it was still exciting.
I think it's a lot more exciting than your trip to LA.
You weren't there,
Bob. I wasn't there, but you didn't lose your passport in a freaking war zone.
No, you lost a car. You lost a car.
Fine.
We lost a car, an entire car.
You lost a car.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Or did it get towed?
We didn't lose it. The city of Los Angeles took it away for us.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeff, how is it going over there? Because, like most news cycles, after a month, it's like you don't hear, we don't hear anything about it anymore.
Yeah, it's very sad. I think it's gotten kind of third, fourth page at this juncture for whatever reason. I don't know. I mean, to the naked eye, I mean, where we were, as far as where the shelter we were building was, I mean, you would honestly never think anything was really going on. I mean, my first trip, there was tons of military checkpoints and lots. I mean, even at the downtown, there was an air battery that was there right near our camp. So, you could definitely tell you were in a war zone. This time around, not as many. There was still a few here and there. But, I mean, people just living their lives. I mean, God, we went to a mall. I had to go buy a bag. And we went going to a mall. And, there's people walking around all in the mall. So people living their lives. You just never would notice. I mean, other than you would hear kind of Ukrainian patriotic stuff. And they would talk, over the loudspeaker, different things. Or the epicenter, which is it's a cross between Home Depot and Walmart, I guess, is kind of Sam's Club, Walmart, Home Depot kind of thing. You can get literally everything in. Gabe, shut up. Hang on. Literally, you can get everything at the epicenter, and it was, I kind of miss the epicenter, quite frankly, and I hope my friends over there, my friends at the epicenter in Ukraine, if you can hear me, I miss you all so very much. I know you're thinking about me, but no, I'm back in America safe. Thank you.
Now, I had a dentist appointment today, and my dental hygienist, who was cleaning my teeth, she's going to visit her mother, who just came. I guess she's in Miami right now, but her dad is still in the Ukraine.
Wow.
And Anastasia. Whoa, she's gorgeous, but she's something else.
Ukrainian women are very attractive. Ukrainian women are very attractive. Yep.
Yeah, she was, but
Anastasia gave you anesthesia.
No, I wish I would have woken with my shirt untucked and my belt unbuttoned and everything's crazy and I can't chew my popcorn anymore. But yes, I was telling her that you might be on the show tonight, and she wants to know everything about your adventures there, so I can. It's great that you're on tonight, and we were trying to get you on for a couple weeks.
Yeah, since I was over there, I was trying to get in there, but
yeah, it was during the time you were there, and it's like 2 a.m. at this point or something.
Yeah.
So it was a little late.
And then last week, I was just so exhausted from getting back, so I had a full time. So.
Yeah, I figured.
But here I am now.
I figured that. Well, we're glad you made it, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you made it.
Yes. And then do you want to hear one more funny part of when I got back? So
yeah,
sure,
definitely,
absolutely, man.
So when we get to Romania on our return trip, again, most of the rest of the time was pretty uneventful. Yeah, stupid little things here and there would happen, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was a couple of funny little things. But we get to the Romanian airport and we go kind of through our custom thing and we're sitting down and we were just kind of, getting some snacks and everything like that because it was going to be about an hour and a half before we could board the flight. So they had the duty-free thing, which is really funny because in the duty-free, they really play up the Dracula thing. So like they had this whole thing of wine bottles. It was like Dracula wine and this and come see Dracula. And it was like kind of funny. So I got a couple little things that said Dracula on it. So we're sitting there, and then in the food area, there was, I don't know if anybody remembers, but when we had the Christmas show I was on, I was talking about baking these things called kolachkis. They're a Hungarian thing. They're a little pastry. You put apricot in them, or prune, or plum, or things of that nature. So while I'm in the Romanian thing, I'm looking and I'm like, holy shit, they actually have these little kolachkis here. How amazing is that? And I have to take pictures. So I'm like taking pictures. I'm like, I have to buy some too. So I'm taking pictures, send to my family. I bought some. We go over. I'm kind of laughing about it. And we sit down, and I'm eating my sandwich, and I got my soda, and then we're just kind of sitting there a little bit. And all of a sudden, my friend Derek starts laughing, like, hysterically. And I'm like, dude, what are you laughing at? And he's like, dude, that little girl just ran off with your cookies. I went, what? And I turned around, this little 6-year-old girl is running off with my damn cookies. And I was like, hey, those are my cookies. So nice. She like rounds the corner, and I kind of get up and I'm laughing, and all of a sudden she runs into her mom is standing there, and all of a sudden her mom's like all like, oh, hello, and they're like, what have you got? And I'm like, those are my cookies. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she's like admonishing her child. I'm laughing, thinking it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And so she makes the girl I'm like, listen, she can have some, and that's fine. She's like, no, she needs to learn to ask. She needs to learn to ask. So she sits, I sit down, and then she makes her come over, and she said, may I have a cookie, please? And then the girl was like, may I have a cookie, please? I'm like, yes, you can have it. And she's like, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And it's just a little adorable. She's got these big red glasses. I mean, the cutest damn kid I've ever seen. So
that's
that
funny.
Was my little 6-year-old Romanian pickpocketing story. So yeah. And of course, the Marine, Derek is laughing about it. He's like, dude, I watched that whole thing play out. And he's like, that was completely premeditated. That little girl spotted her cookies from about 25 yards away and went beeline right towards him. I saw the whole thing happen. He said, and this is exactly why I need to come protect you, because you can't keep your shit safe from a fucking 6-year-old girl. And I was like, God damn it,
Nice.
right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so.
Thank God
Cute
for the
little
Marines,
cute.
right?
Mhm. Protecting Jeff's cookies, the Marines.
That's amazing stuff, man. I'm so
Crazy
proud of
stuff.
you, man. That is so great. I just
Thanks,
it's
man. I
it's
appreciate
just it deserves the encore. Yes,
I
folks.
could use that movie.
Our very own Jeff Prekop just got back from the freaking Ukraine. Amazing stuff. I'm in awe of you right now, man.
You're
That's
awesome.
just thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, man, for sharing that with us. Are you going to go back?
Yes. Yep. Somewhere in maybe September-ish. September, probably. I'm hoping at least 2 more. I mean, I'll continue to go as long as I'm needed over there, as long as they need stuff. I will do everything I can to help out. The guys I've gone over with, that are former, UK military, they're like, mate, you got a carte blanche whenever you want to come over. Come on over anytime. Love to see you. So I'm like, okay. So plan on, somewhere in like September-ish maybe, and then maybe in November. With ideally the goal would hopefully be come back with some dogs. So that's something we're kind of working on. We got to get vaccinations done, and I got some legwork to do, which I kind of did a little bit when I was there this time, and then when I go in September, try to lay up a little bit more, and then hopefully arrange for some dogs to come over and spend their lives
Man,
in
I'd love to
good
go
old
with you,
USA.
man. I'd love to go
Awesome.
with you, man. But
Awesome.
I think I'd get hurt though.
You probably would.
I just
As
get
long as
hurt
there
no
aren't
matter
any
what.
ladders, Steve, you'll be okay.
Oh, gee. I just fell off a ladder yesterday.
No.
Yes, it was bad. I thought I broke my leg, but
Oof.
yeah, it was bad. Okay, for the last 2 years, you've been on the show a couple times,
Yep.
but for the last 2 years, I've been trying to get a roof for my house. We finally got it on this week.
Nice.
And they fucked up my my spouting, the spouts around the back of the house that Bob and I put up. And so I had to get another piece at Home Depot, and I was putting it up, and I mean, just as I finished putting it up, the ladder sunk into the ground, and I fell. It wasn't stable. It was on the grass, but it was on soft grass, and I fell off, and I landed like a superhero. You know how the superheroes land with the fist down on the ground, and they look up at you, but my back right leg was still stuck in the freaking ladder rungs, and then the ladder started moving, and it was So I totally messed my leg up, but it's thumping. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But
Speaking of comedy, what's up with Carrot Top's face?
What?
Like, yeah, great workout, but what's
Speaking
is your
of
face
total
working
non
out too?
sequiturs,
It's like his
nice
face
segue
is
there, Tony.
exploding.
Nice segue. I don't know what is up with
What is up
Carrot
with
Top's
that
face.
I want to ask him.
Botox probably.
I don't know. I don't know.
He kind of looks like the Elephant Man from that movie.
Is that
what was the one with Cher in it? That's what he kind of looks like.
Mask.
Oh,
Mask.
Mask.
Yes, that's what he looks like.
Right. Oh my God!
I never thought of that, but you got your
right?
there. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah, he used to be really skinny, like skinny, fuzzy redhead.
Well,
now his face looks like it's about.
He's totally.
Now he looks like the Joker. Now he looks like the Joker, like in real life, like a real life Joker.
Yeah. He's a monster.
That's
You're doing a lot of traveling. It's like, hey, I'm down for that Pacific Rim thing, or whatever that is. I shower. So
Anyway, Jeff, I one more thing to bring us back to Ukraine discussion and everything.
Okay.
This conflict is going to end at some point, hopefully, and hopefully it ends
yes.
soon. But I don't think the Ukrainians will ever, let this pass. I think this has ruined their relationship with Russia.
Yeah.
Oh,
think
yeah,
so? I
absolutely.
mean, just
Yeah,
they're
it'll
very
never go
hardy
back.
people. They're very hardy, and I just this is just such a misstep in history.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they will rebuild. I first and foremost, I believe the Ukrainians will win as long as the governments of the world keep giving them the shit they need to fight.
Yeah.
They have every desire to fight, and they will fight, and they will fight to the death. And they have the desire, and that's why they'll win. As long as they have the shit. I mean, if they don't, if we don't give them the long range rockets and shit they need, then that's it'll be very tough slog for them. But as long
hell,
as
they were holding them off. They were holding them off with sticky bombs and stuff. The first 2 weeks.
Molotov cocktails.
Molotov cocktails, and they were holding them off with those. So that they're not going to
give them the
take
good
the
shit.
land.
You give them the good shit, then I mean, what the country will look like, I don't know. I mean,
they're not going to beat Russia.
It's a beautiful country. It's a beautiful country.
You think they'll join NATO? You think that will happen?
Not if Russia has anything to do with it.
Well, Russia doesn't have anything to do with it.
They don't have anything to do with it. No, they don't.
Russia doesn't have a choice at this point.
At this juncture, I think Ukraine's like, F you, NATO. You haven't really, you've given us stuff here and there, but you had a chance to help us in the beginning, and F you. We don't need you. So I think that's how it'll go, but it's tough to say.
If they'd honor the Minsk Accords, Russia would just leave. It would just be over.
The Minsk Accord.
I've read a lot about that too. Yeah. There's a lot of propaganda on both ends for sure. So I mean, there's crazy shit on both ends. Yeah, the Ukrainians needed to do some different things too, but it is what it is.
But I think there's going to be bad blood between the countries for generations.
For decades. Yeah. That one something that probably never forgets. They'll never forget that.
No. And it didn't need to be done. No, it could have been handled could have been handled better.
For sure. And I think, and Russia's big thing is like, well, and I mean, the Minsk Accords, that's certainly something at play there, don't get me wrong. But I think if Russia was so concerned about, the Russian-speaking citizens being mistreated so bad in the Donbas and Luhansk regions, I mean, they could have documented that, gone to the UN, but like, hey, look at what they're doing. They're committing genocide that, is not cool. And they could have just invited those people, hey, all you Russian-speaking people, why don't you move to Russia? I mean, what was wrong with that? They could have done that.
Yeah, but wasn't
their home.
Wasn't that their? Didn't they trace that back to Russia at the bottom in the south? The people that were sarin gassed and all that stuff, they traced that back to Russia, and they were blaming, the Russians were blaming the Ukrainians.
Could be. Yeah,
and then I think that was debunked. That was debunked.
Probably.
That was that's at the very beginning, and Putin was like, no, they are sarin gas, and it was traced back to
propaganda
Russia.
Everywhere.
Do you think if Putin were to drop dead, do you think this will end?
A good question.
Because his health is being questioned.
Yeah.
Well, I know Ukraine failed on an attack on him.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard.
Yeah, that was like last month.
Out of the
something
news cycle.
Yeah.
They
For some, I don't know
better
why
stuff.
it's out of the news cycle, but it should still be in that news cycle.
Should be,
But
for sure.
my question is it really just him directing this? You know, was it his decision and
I
everybody
personally
just going
think
along
so.
with it?
I personally think so.
Yeah.
It's what it
Yeah.
The
seems
ruble
like.
is doing great.
What? Yeah.
Barney?
Yeah.
The ruble is
Barney Ruble?
Barney Ruble is doing
Barney
good.
Ruble.
Barney Ruble's doing good.
Well, I read the other week that the sanctions on Russian oil kind of backfired because the price of oil doubled or increased so much that they don't have to sell as much to break even.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, we're not going to buy your oil. It's like, well, go ahead because it's worth so much more now anyway.
Yeah. So you don't have to buy as much, and China's still going to buy it, and
Right.
India's still going to buy it.
So I'm
and
still, they're still
making
getting
bank.
by.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
But now
For sure.
oil prices have gone down the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will continue.
Amen.
It should. The new plans are starting to take effect. Now, anyone knows that it takes 2 years for any president to even have his plans go through.
Nothing to do with it.
And it's got nothing to do with, I know, but I mean, that's everyone's blaming
You can drill, baby,
Biden.
drill and get more oil, but they're still going to sell it on a global market, dependent on the strength of the American dollar. That's true.
Well, the thing is, also we sold our largest oil refinery too in Texas. So how do we make the products that we need? We can't do that anymore because it's sold into Saudi.
No.
2 weeks to. That's the first thing Trump did when he shut down when he shut down the borders for COVID.
Fucking Saudis.
So.
Yeah. It all.
So they now own our largest oil refinery.
They
so much for keeping it in America.
Probably always did, Steve.
America.
Do you think the Saudis are not well invested in American oil companies? I mean,
yes, but I mean now they own it
outright,
and we sold it because
we didn't sell it. The company that owned it sold it. It's not a government-owned thing.
Okay.
It's not. It's not a national.
I know what you're saying,
asset,
but it was Trump that bartered the deal. That happened.
Yeah, and the Saudis gave $2 billion to Jared Kushner too.
Nice.
They all shake hands.
Cash.
Yeah, I mean, don't be shocked that all these shady deals go down.
It's nasty. Yeah, nasty deals.
Oh, it is nasty.
Well, when I'm president, all that shit's gonna change. I can tell you that right now.
Absolutely.
Good.
Exactly.
That's absolutely right. That's why we are making sure that Jeffrey Prekop will become our next president. For his humanitarian efforts, Jeffrey Prekop, folks.
Bringing you the dogs, baby.
That's right.
Yes. He's going to be the man. He knows his stuff. And if not, he has Marines to back him up if he drops his passport or his cookies.
Don't lose your cookies.
Don't lose the cookies to the little 6-year-old remaining.
He will never lose his cookies because the Marines will back his ass.
That's right.
He almost got taken by the cookie crook.
Mm-hmm. Cookie monster. Little 6-year-old.
Yeah. If you had Tom Hanks as a running mate, you'd win for sure.
Tom Hanks.
Holy crap. Yeah. There it is. It'd be like
Prekop Hanks 2024.
Mr. Hanks.
I love it.
Mr. Hanks, we have a special call for you from Mr. Jeffrey Prekop. Will you take this call, please?
Love it. We can do it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Hey, I know we've been talking about Ukraine and everything for the whole show, and it's a great thing, but I know it's fine, but it is National Barbershop Music Appreciation Day.
Nice.
Really?
Okay. It is. It
I
is. It's National
appreciate
Barber.
barbershop.
Please tell me you don't have like barbershop sound bites.
I have, folks. Barbershop sound bites.
Well, Jeff, do you have
Yes.
more stories, or do we have to endure barbershop?
I hate to say it, I'm out for right now. Yeah,
Oh.
and actually, and on that note, I actually do have to leave because I got to go get my dog that's at home and go give him a walk. And
Go
get
rescue
dinner,
your own dog.
Oh,
Yes,
go
I gotta
rescue
go
your
rescue
own
my
dog.
Thank you, Jeff. It's awesome
Thank
to
you
hear
for joining us,
Jeff,
Jeff.
thank
It's
you
been a
so much
pleasure.
for hanging out with us.
Absolutely,
Fantastic.
love to. Hopefully, I'll definitely do it more.
Hey,
It's always fun.
Yes, and keep in touch because maybe you guys can work it out. Who knows if I
Yeah.
don't get hurt?
Yeah, I'll let
So-
you know. I'll keep you safe.
All right. As long as
As
we
long
have
as
the
we don't have any
Marines.
cookies around. Yeah, as long as we
Right.
don't have any cookies around, we should be good.
Could you imagine doing this podcast from the Ukraine?
That'd be awesome.
You can
That would
barely
be
do
cool.
it from your garage.
Oh, next week. Next week, I
Next
can tell
week.
you next week. Next week we are going to have the total Starlink hookup, folks.
Yeah.
Next week will be the original Starlink hookup. I have Elon
The
Musk's
inaugural.
satellite dish in my garage right here and right now. I'm just waiting for the wall mount, and then that's done.
Look at that.
Sweet.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
That's my nasty
what
little
the hell
dog.
is
Sorry.
that?
That's my nasty little cheapon.
up.
Shut that dog up.
Oh, oh my
right, guys.
goodness.
All right, Jeff. He's,
All right.
he's
Thank you,
skipping
guys.
out on the barbershop.
Yes, I got to skip
Oh,
out on
man.
the barbershop.
It's like, well, I gotta go, guys. Sorry, it's been great.
It's been real.
Oh wow.
I will be on touch again very, very soon. Hopefully next week.
Now it's good
Awesome,
to hear
Jeff.
from you, Jeff, and we're very happy you returned safe and you're doing a great thing.
Thank you, and I'll share some pictures with Steve, and then he can disperse it amongst everyone
Oh,
else.
yeah,
So.
he-
But
you know
if
he
you
will.
want to go look at
Awesome.
some old stuff, RescuePawsInternational.com, you can go look and check stuff out too. So good stuff.
There
And
it
we
is.
encourage all our
I'm-
listeners to visit as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
Go see some cool
absolutely.
stuff.
I'm
Thank you all.
posted it on the site. All right, Jeff. See you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Tell Jen I said
Yeah.
Hey,
hi.
brother.
I will see ya.
Awesome. Awesome.
There he goes.
I'll tell you.
Amazing.
I'll tell you. The stuff that we got into, Jeff and I, was
Yeah.
just amazing, and
Can't imagine.
and it's I'm glad that he's continuing his his endeavors. It's amazing stuff. I'll tell you. Amazing stuff. I can't. I don't know. I'm still in awe of the stuff that he's been doing. So it's great.
And
Great
more
to
to
hear from
come.
him.
More to come.
Yes. 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 All right, guys.
Okay.
On a more somber note,
This should be
on a
interesting.
more somber note, we have barbershop pop quartet sound bites.
Mhm.
It took me all day to figure this one out, guys,
Oh my.
because I since it's barbershop appreciation day, I had to go on a massive search for barbershop quartets singing songs that you might know. You probably know most of these songs, but
I don't know what
for
to
those of you who
expect.
never,
That's why I'm laughing. It's like this could be like excruciatingly torture, or this could just be absolute silliness. I don't know.
I predict AC/DC. No, I don't know.
I have no
AC/DC?
idea. I have no idea.
Okay.
This is the most bonkers thing you've done yet.
No. This isn't the most. Well, maybe.
Yeah, this is out there.
It's
It goes. It goes up there with a Lounge Against the Machine, and
That's
so if you
almost
could-
downright normal compared to Barbershop Quartet.
Okay,
Let's
Well,
get into it.
here we go. Here's your first
off
one.
the
If you
Band-Aid.
know the song,
Okay.
type in the song and type in who did it originally, and you get to play against Bob and Tony, folks. So type it in, and here you go. Here's your first one.
Oops, I did it again. I
Britney Spears.
Oh, baby, baby, oops, you think I'm in love.
Oops, I did it again.
I'm not that innocent.
There you go. Britney Spears it is. Britney Spears it is. Oops, I did it again.
Oops,
And Bob
I
is in.
farted again.
All right, that was the first one, folks.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if you get this next one. You're gonna love it. It's short but sweet, so you got to listen really carefully.
Okay.
And it's kind of soft too. So I'm gonna. Here, let's see if you get this one.
Poker face, my poker face, my poker face, my poker face.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
There you go.
Poker face.
Poker face.
They're pretty
Since we were
good.
talking about,
They sing good.
since we were talking about the new Joker, what's his name? Carrot Top. Poke his face. All right, here we go. You're gonna like this next one. I love this next one. It's short.
Then we'll still be all about that bass. No treble, we're all about that bass. No treble.
Oh, what was
Okay.
that name?
Ah, ha, ha.
no
I
idea.
stump you.
What was her name?
Oh, you got
Meghan
it.
Trainor?
You got it. Meghan Trainor, all about the bass. Oh, this is so much fun. I love this one.
It's torturing.
It's different.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
It's different.
It took me a long time to find stuff like this, and all day, and it was crazy. So here's the next one.
Well, I tell you what I want, what I really want. I tell you what I want, what I really want. I tell you what I want, what I really want. What I really, really want is everybody to.
What's the name of that song?
It's the Spice Girls.
Spice Girls. You got the Spice
if
Girls.
You wanna be my lover. You gotta
No.
tell me what I want,
Nope.
what I really, really want. No. So they started it off like that and went into something different?
No. Tell me what I want. What I really, really want. What is the name of the song?
Wannabe. Spice Girls.
There it is. Wannabe. All right. There you go. I'll give it to you. All right. Here's the next one. Bob, you got that one right. All right. Here we go.
Oh, young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, I'm sure you will find many
Village
ways
People.
to have a good time.
Is it YMCA?
There it is. YMCA. Okay, Eric, you gotta like tune into some of this stuff too, man. We got Father Moses in the house. We got Fuzivis, Chillwell. We have Jesus or Jesus. Billy Jacobs is with us. Amity. If you know the song, type it in, folks, because we got it here happening right now. And this is Soundbites, barbershop style. Here we go. What's this next song, guys?
Bye, 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 bye. I'm doing this tonight. You're probably gonna start a fight. I know this can't be right. Hey, baby, come on. Love you endlessly. You went there for me, so now it's time to
And sing, yeah.
make it up.
Yes.
I know that I can take no
Yes.
more. It ain't no lie. I wanna see you out that door, baby. Bye, bye, bye.
There it is. Bye, bye, bye. Now they had other songs too, but you go back to the old time. Nobody knows that stuff now, which is why they started doing it this way.
I love that stuff.
Yeah,
Damn right. Got
but
five
you
guys
would-
singing to me. Damn right.
It's a quartet.
Okay, whatever. Syntec, quartet, triplet.
All right, here's the next one, guys.
Oh, so what? I'm still a rock star. I got my rock moves, and I don't need you. And guess what? I'm having more fun. And now that we're done, I'm gonna show you tonight. I'm alright.
what's this thing?
I'm just fine. mine, and you're a tool. So
what is-
I'm still a
Hey,
rock
Pink!
star. I got my rock boots, and I don't need
Eric is
you
right.
tonight.
There it is, folks. All right.
didn't
What is
get
the name of
that.
the song, Eric? What's the name of the song? What is that? What's the name? Oh, so what? Yes, there it is. You got it. All right. Ahoo-ah. All right. Oh, we're more than halfway through, folks. You're going to love this next one. Bob, you should know this one. You got to know this one.
Cause Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. Don't believe me, just watch. Yeah, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Hey, da-da, what?
Bruno Mars.
Da-da-da, don't believe me, just
Bruno
watch.
Mars.
Yeah,
Uptown
don't
Funk.
believe me, just watch.
Uptown Funk is right. That's
Did
right.
not
You
know
got
that.
it right. Oh, yeah. Bruno Mars, man. He had it going on like a couple years back. Nonstop.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here's everyone's favorite. You're going to love this one. You're going to love this one.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones. Nice.
It's not
And if you're not
unusual.
dancing like Carlton, there's something wrong with you.
What's
The funny thing
new,
is, I took that one.
pussycat? Whoa,
I
whoa,
t-
whoa.
They were all dancing like that, doing the Carlton.
Yeah.
Singing that
I'm
song.
waiting.
You
I'm
have
waiting
to.
for. I predict I like big butts.
Oh no!
There
no,
you go.
No, they're not doing it.
Why
I don't
didn't
think
they?
so. No,
Come on.
I
That
know.
would've been
I
great.
don't. Maybe.
Classic. It should.
Maybe they will.
Maybe it's there
I don't
somewhere.
know.
I
It
request
could
it.
be somewhere. I probably didn't, I didn't dive deep enough. So
Ah.
here's the next one. See if you
Okay.
like this one.
We're going to dig deep.
Don't tear my heart, my achy breaky heart. I just don't think you'll understand. No, no.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
It's his name.
Achy breaky
It's his name.
There it is. Yep, absolutely. You got it.
Lord.
Billy Ray Cyrus, Achy Breaky Heart. Now, this is a very quick one, this next one, so you're going to have to listen very carefully. All right?
Okay.
Here we go.
Dale tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar alegría
Macarena.
Dale tu cuerpo alegría Macarena.
Hey,
Macarena.
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 All right, who did it?
No one really knows.
That's
come
the mariachi
on.
Those
band.
Italian guys.
This is a mariachi
Oh, my
band at
God.
the Mexican restaurant.
I don't know. I didn't know who did it when they did it.
Oh, it's Los Del Rio.
Right. I
Los
just like
Del
the video
Rio.
because it had
Del
all the
Rio.
girls and two Italian guys. I still like
That's right.
Have you guys ever heard of Phoenix? Phoenix?
No.
The band Phoenix?
The Venus. I had the video game. The Phoenix video game.
Phoenix.
I'll give you a sample. I'll give you a
Okay.
sample.
Is it Barbershop?
It's close.
Disco. It sounds like the stuff my neighbor plays in his truck really loud.
They go. Ha.
I like it. I like this.
It's like techno funk.
I like it.
And the video's pretty wild too.
Yeah.
It's all these old paintings and statues that come to life.
Oh wow. That's Phoenix.
Phoenix. And the song is called Alpha Zulu. Woo ha.
Alpha Zulu.
Alpha Zulu.
Ah, all right.
Well, there's your new music for the week.
New music
Yes,
for
Steve.
tonight. Yes.
Steve brought that new music to you last week with the Dave Grohl in the Soundbites. so I didn't have to. This
I did?
You did. You did.
I don't know. I don't remember. Ah.
So there you
Okay.
go.
New music. And I will put that here. Boom. Hopefully I spelled it correctly. Boom. New music. Phoenix Alpha Zulu.
Alpha Zulu.
All right. Hoo-ha. All right, we got two more to go.
Two more.
I thought it was over. I'm sorry. I wouldn't have done
man.
that. I thought it was done. All right, continue.
You're just wishful thinking.
No.
All right, we
enjoying
got
it.
two more to
Let
go.
us proceed.
All right, here's the second last one. Here you go.
Jump on it! Jump on it!
Oh.
Oh my God, is this Apache by
Yeah.
the freaking Sugar Hill Gang?
Yes. I couldn't spit the words
Apache.
out. Yes.
Sugar Hill Gang. That's it.
Wow.
Jump on
Yes.
it. Jump
Wow,
on
that
it.
is
Jump on it.
really reaching back.
Wow.
That is reaching back. We're going to reach back even further with an obscure
Okay.
song. If you were a fan, you would know this. If you were a little kid and watched this every day, like I'm sure all three of us did,
Okay.
listen very carefully. You might get this.
We're gonna keep on, keep on, keep on.
Oh
keep
my
on
God.
dancing all through the night. We're gonna
Brady
keep
Bunch
on,
kids.
keep on, keep on,
doing it
right. We're gonna keep on, keep on, keep on. We're gonna keep on, keep on, keep on grooving. Keep on
The
singing
Brady
and
Bunch.
dancing.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
remember
You guys
that.
all win. You guys win. Keep on dancing. That's it. Yes.
Keep on.
Gonna keep on.
Keep on. They had other hit
That's
songs
amazing
too.
stuff.
Where did those kids get
They
such
did.
great outfits?
I
From the
don't
prop
know.
department, Mrs. Brady.
They had another
Have
hit
a
song. What
sunshine
was
day,
like
yes.
Sunshine Day.
It's
Sunshine.
Think
Yeah, Sunshine
I'll go
Day,
for
yes.
a walk
And Eric,
outside
time
now.
to
The
change.
sun knows me by name. I'm ready now. I just can't stay inside all day. I gotta get out. Gotta
Can you
get
believe it?
away.
Those kids wrote all those songs.
Sunshine. They did not. Everybody knows the Partridge Family wrote them.
It was a fantasy.
The
Stop
Partridge Family
diminishing
wrote
my
those songs.
fantasy.
Amazing stuff, guys. Amazing. Oh man, it's fun stuff. I think we got
Good.
Erick FYI on the phone here. What do we got, Eric?
Good fun
Good evening,
stuff.
gentlemen. I think that Time to Change song begins with the sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yes,
Sha-na-na-na-na. That part.
Yeah.
No, 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 no.
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 And how I was able to
Nah,
recognize,
nah.
but how I was able to recognize the song by Pink is because, the na 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 na, that part right
Yeah.
there, the na na sounds.
Yep. That's it.
Nah. Oh.
I thought it was Smash Mouth with Rockstar, but I was way up.
No,
Eric,
no,
did
that
you
ain't-
know?
that ain't it, so.
Eric, did you know that you could like, subscribe, and all that shit? But did you know that you could hashtag Podbean Grabo or hashtag Podbean Ask Break a News Show or hashtag Podbean?
I
As long
just
as you put
do.
Podbean, you could put any show that we do or part of the show that, and it'll pop up. It's pretty amazing.
The
Well,
potluck
I just
podcast.
do
Yes.
I like the Potluck podcast.
Oh, wow.
I hashtag that and just Podbean and.
Yeah, just portions
Nice.
of the show with a hashtag, and it'll pop it up.
Right.
It's amazing stuff.
Hashtag Podbean Bob Dammit, and then something of a part of the show that had him in it that uses that title will come up.
Wow, that's amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hashtag Bob Dammit.
Podbean. You have to put Podbean and then whatever.
I wonder how,
like
Yes.
sound bites
wonder how that works.
or
Does Steve have to put tags on the?
Great guest y'all have
No,
tonight.
Yeah.
I
Jeff,
think
that was great.
I think John Gale would be interested in him.
Really?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
The TalkNet Live program that's on every Wednesday this
Oh.
summer, but will be returning to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the fall.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, if you listen, he might not be around in the fall. He'll be going back over there. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, I could
So it's
ask him.
over there.
Well, like if he
Yeah,
would
right.
be interested in doing a Wednesday appearance on the John Gill like TalkNet Live program that goes live Wednesdays at 5 p.m. each time on Podbean.
Well, I mean, we could ask him. I mean, he'll probably listen to the show. He was on earlier, but he's a pretty busy guy. So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Well-
I'll text out. He's going to be texting me some videos and stuff, and we're going to get together and do some crazy stuff. So we did a lot of adventures together, and I think we're going to do some more soon. So we'll see what happens.
Nice. More to
Yeah.
come. More to
More
come.
to come. More to come.
Right.
Fun stuff. Yes. So what else we got going on here?
Well, I
Now,
know
no
that.
minute.
Well, I know Soccer 82 Alpha, which is on opposite y'all on Wednesday nights, is getting about ready to wrap up about the same time y'all wrap up, and they've had some interesting guests previously, like Dr. Stephanie Seneff, and then they've got a couple of like their usual listeners like Mike Tampa Bay and Ralph William and Patriot X and like Ronald from Radio and.
Did you say Patriot Dicks?
Patriot X.
Axe. Oh, I was like, it broke up there. I was like, Patriot Dicks.
It's
doing
your
it for the.
That's what I heard.
Satellite internet.
Well, and I know, of course, tomorrow you've got the Low Standards and Pours in Primetime. Friday evening, you've got This Swap Doesn't Lie with Felix. And then Sunday morning, you've got Jim Hinckley's America. And then hopefully, Ralph might have one or two shows planned for this week. And then, of course, every Monday through Friday, you still got the Old Man's Podcast show. And then you've also got,
every morning.
Yep, you've also got like Milk Dog doing his marathon of shows 7 days a week, and then you got Frankie D on Wednesdays and Fridays. Although, he has mentioned that a job opportunity might force him to have to move his Podbean live shows in a little bit of a different direction, but he'll keep us posted on the days he'll be able to still do his Podbean lives and still be able to do his
Now, did you know that today? Did you know that today is Beans and Weenies Day?
Oh yeah, well, and of course, Scooter and Spanky are going to have their new season of the Beans and Weenie show this fall. So around late August, early September, be on lookout for them, and hopefully by September,
but it's a national holiday. It's a national holiday today.
Well,
Beans and Weenies Day.
They'll have to celebrate next year when they're live and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, they could celebrate. Yeah. So I mean, I didn't know there was such a thing as a Beans and Weenies Day, but
it's popular.
Hey,
very popular.
There you go.
And then you've
I grew
also
up on
got the new season of Slightly Serious show coming up in just a couple more weeks. And then I know John DeVito made a surprise appearance on Podbean this morning, but no recorded show. I think he showed up in a couple of people's shows, and hopefully maybe he'll be back where he's ready to fire up new live shows again very soon, and hopefully score interviews with a couple other interesting people, and maybe have some follow-up, episodes on the Pamela Smart saga and the boarding school abuse survivors, and probably a new round of get to know your podcaster interviews if he's where he can. And of course, you still got Mike Tampa Bay around, and there's another interesting one, Bob Ram. He
just entered the live studio.
And
he just entered the live
Sisters,
studio.
My Turn to Talk podcast, and the It's Doomsday podcast on Monday evening. So be on lookout for those. But of course, we always remind friends of the Potluck podcast to hit that follow or subscribe button, or if they're listening to this published episode on a download. But if they want to come in and interact with us Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, just download Podbean, and for them to come and look for Steve and Tony and Bob.
That's absolutely right. And we're wrapping things up now. Yes, thanks so much, Eric.
I know y'all do it again next week. And then, of course, Dina Joe is doing podcast shows 3 days a week now, and then you'll see her pop up on the Gray Areas podcast with the salty and sweet shows.
Well, it looks like Crazy Cuz Hilo is with us as well.
We'll do it again next week, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot. Most of our show tonight was dedicated to Jeff Prekop because he just got back from the Ukraine, and he had a lot of stories to tell us. I mean, we didn't get to do Ask Breaking News.
Well, that was the Ask Breaking News. That was our Ukrainian report.
Are Ukrainian? Did you want to sponsor that with Linda?
Sure, we'll do that with Linda.
You want to do? We can.
See you later, gentlemen.
We can.
All right, see you.
Hey,
Take
good night.
care.
Good night.
Thank you.
We can. We can wrap things up with Dr. Linda if you want.
We can jump in bed with. We'll jump in bed with Dr. Linda.
Yeah. All right. Hold on a second. Let's cue her up real quick, and here she is. It's Pooh Corner with Dr. Linda.
Welcome to Pooh Corner. Have a little language lesson today.
What is going on?
Constipation. The word comes from the Latin word constipare, meaning to crowd together.
Learn something new each week with Dr. Linda in Pooh Corner.
Okay.
I like that. That was a very good. That was funny, Tom. That was hilarious. That was good. I like that one. And you found out where constipation comes from. The things you learn on this show. Amazing, amazing stuff. Oh my goodness.
You remember
whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
Remember.
You always find it.
You remember
learn
Saint
something.
Innocent.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh well. Next week, I can tell you we will have Florida Man. Florida Man will be back with us. We have a whole bunch of other things. Do you knows and bullshit or nots and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Bullshit!
And new music as well
From
with
Tina.
Tony.
Yeah,
And
we'll do some
yes.
new music.
And Bob, damn it, thank you for tuning in and hanging out with me. And Tony.
Okay.
And being a part of the show, and because it's not a show without you guys, and you know it.
Oh, it's
And-
fun. I love it.
And congratulations again go to us because we, had over 2,000 listeners starting from last week, and we're just adding on the new badges that Podbean is giving us. Can't do much with them, but
Yeah, that's cool.
but we're getting there.
I
So
love it.
tonight we had a half decent engagement score. So we want to thank Jeff for being with us tonight in his busy schedule, telling us all about his adventures over in the Ukraine.
Amazing.
And don't forget RescuePawsInternational.com. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of brain dead, guys. My leg is
Okay.
thumping. I don't know how I'm going to go to work tomorrow, but I'm going to go for it.
You're
So-
probably out of
Days? No, I still got about a week. I still got a week
Yeah.
left.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but my leg is really thumping. I can put pressure on it, but it gets really sore really fast. And
Well, I hope
luckily
that
I didn't
works.
break it. I thought I broke it. I swear to God, is when the ladder fell down. After I was on the ground, the ladder
Oh, it's gonna turn
came
all
down
purple
after.
and red like a baboon's ass.
It already is, Bob. You have to see it. It's nasty.
Ooh,
Here we go.
It's nasty.
ooh, it's all
We'll have
oozy.
a follow up next week. See what's up.
Yeah, we'll see what's up with that because it's been the aftermath. These guys cracked my freaking concrete.
Yes.
Oh no.
You know
and
that,
they
right?
and they broke your rain spouts and
They broke my rain spouts. They cracked my driveway. I mean,
driveway's
it just
busted.
my driveway was. They came back and like patched it.
I just
they came
hope
back
that
and
your
patched
roof doesn't leak. I hope that they
They-
didn't make it worse.
They ripped
No,
my
the roof-
bras,
the roof-
stretched out my nipples.
I don't know, but that was just crazy.
All right, we should close it there. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thank you again to
Stretching out his
Jeffrey
nipples.
RescuePawsInternational.com. Go there, check it out.
Yes.
Donate if you can. And,
yes, and thank you so much. See you next week, guys. That was awesome. Thank you. Good night.
This has been another Potluck Podcast. We want to thank everyone who joined us for tonight's show. Make sure to check us out each week for all the games, trivia, fun facts, and happenings going on within our lives as well as yours. This has been an MCG production.
If you've liked these podcasts, now's your chance to listen to the original podcast, Volume 1, now available through the Misplaced Comedy Group site and every online music store. Yes, before podcasting was popular, the MCG were the first comedy troupe to ever use this technology, and now they're being released onto CD. Now you can hear for yourself why the MCG won production awards from 2005 until now on the original podcast, Volume 1, featuring the first 2 30-minute podcasts ever produced by the MCG in their original format. So click away and get yours today.